Hi, welcome back to Country Intelligent. This is George, your host, and we're just here in another day in the life of paradise, and it's doing great. So today we are going to be replacing the thermostat housing gasket for a Jeep Grand Cherokee 2002. This is a 4-liter engine. You know, it says it right there. It's pretty easy to read. And 6 cylinders. So that's good. So here's our thermostat housing right here. Okay, looks good right there. Okay, we've already disconnected our connector here. You know, that just goes right there. And see if we can get better view of that. Zoom in right there. Looks great. Okay, so right here, this one's broken. So just imagine that there's like a push clip right there, and you push it and pull it out. Okay, right here it's gonna let go of that right there, and that's what's gonna that's what holds the connector together, this and the push clip. Okay, but this one is just kind of holding on there. It's doing all right. It does good enough for what we need it to. Okay, so this is just the temperature sensor for the thermostat housing. Okay, here's our thermostat. We're replacing this gasket. Okay, so it's a brand new gasket. I put it on a little while ago, and it got hot again and kind of blew out. So that's what we're doing, is we're replacing that. Okay, so here we go. So we can get to that. So that we're able to get to that, we are going to take off this fan shroud right here. Okay, we're going to take off this fan shroud and the fan inside here. Okay, we're going to just take these two things off. Okay, we're going to take these two things off and lay them over here on top of the battery and the coolant reservoir. Okay, I already took off the intake for the air cleaner. It's right here. It goes into a square right here. Okay, and then pops right in here. It twists. Okay, so this is our air cleaner. It goes right here to our intake manifold. So we're not going to worry about any of that. You're not going to have to take any of this off. Just right here, the intake for the air cleaner. Okay, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. Because these guys who engineered this are freaking idiots, or they didn't think practically. So what they did was they took these bolts to hold this radiator in. Oh, you can't see that. It's right here. Pop on the other side. There's 4 of them. Okay, there's 4. One underneath this power steering. I'm sorry, guys. My tongue is twisted today. The power steering column right here, and there's a bolt under there for the mount for the shroud. Right there's a bolt here, right underneath there, right there. There's that bolt. Okay. And our other bolt, there's 2 more. There's one underneath here. Can you see? There's one underneath this hose here. Okay, and then there's one down there. I don't know if you can see my hand pointing, but there it is, down there. Okay. And, well, there's only 2 bolts in right now holding this fan shroud because, well, that's how we got it. So that's how we got the car. Okay, so these bolts that are holding in the fan shroud right here, okay, and then right in there, these bolts are 10 millimeter. Okay, so you can use a wrench. Okay, or you can use a socket. Okay, this socket is a 10mm socket with a 1/4" drive. You can use a 3/8 drive. It does not matter. Okay, these are very small bolts, so you really don't need the power of a 3/8 drive ratchet. Today I will be using my handy dandy ratchet screwdriver. I love this thing, it's awesome, you know. Okay, it goes in, it goes out, you know. I have an adapter for it right there. It's really nice. It's a 1/4" adapter, and it fits my screwdriver perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and put this together here. Got the there it is. So this is what I'm going to use today, is my ratchet screwdriver. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and attach it to the bolt right there. Just going to go ahead and set that in there. Let's keep going. Okay, and you're just gonna do it like that. There's the bolt. Easy peasy, man. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So there it is. Okay, there's one. Bolt one. Okay, I'm gonna set y'all down while I get bolt number 2 done, and we'll be back in here in just a second. Okay. Okay, so we're back. Now we got the 2 bolts that are on mine. I didn't have all 4 when I bought this. I just bought it about a month or a half ago. So the fan shroud's loose. Okay, so the next thing we're going to want to do is take this hose right here. This is our overflow hose for our radiator. I'm going to pop that off and bring it. And I like to just take it and stick it right down inside there, you know, so that it doesn't leak out everywhere, because I've had that happen a few times, and I just don't like it anymore. So that radiator's in there real nice and tight, so that's good. Okay, so we're going to take our fan shroud and our fan, kind of lift it up out of there. We can get it up out of there. Okay. Let's see if I can prop you up to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. So, alright, so here we are. We're going to take it. And it's just got to come up. Ow. That hurt. Dang it. I broke a nail. I'm just playing. That's so silly. Okay. Anyway, so what we're doing is just going to get this fan shroud to pop up out of here. Let's see where it's held at. Oh, okay. So, I see what we need to do. We need to come over this way with the fan shroud. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull off this radiator hose here. This one here. Okay? Coming from the radiator, and we're going to go ahead and come into our handy dandy toolbox here, so and find us a 5/16 right somewhere right in here. Okay, because that's what size that that screw is for the clamp. See if we can find us 5/16, 7/16, 11/32. It's not in here. That blows, guys. Okay, so we're just gonna grab one from here. I think it's this one here. Right here, 5/16. Okay. So, boom. Right there, buddy. I'm gonna take off. Hopefully don't have too much overflow or spillage. Usually you want to have like a bucket or something. I don't really have one today. So, if you can, you want to try and have as little spill as possible. So, but it's never perfect, you know, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get this hose off, and we'll be back. Okay, so you can tell I've taken off this hose. Okay, it goes to here, right there. There's the thermostat housing. Okay, I got some coolant all over the place. It's okay. Here's the hose. Excuse me, sneeze. Alright, and this is the other hose for the thermostat, the bypass hose, okay? Or the return hose, I'm sorry, that's not the bypass, that's the return. Okay, and here's the thermostat housing. So, all the hoses are, this thermostat is completely disconnected aside from the bolts. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is take off our fan shroud. So let's see if we can do that. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, there we are. Oh, wait, no. There we are. Okay, so here we are. Just gonna take it and pull it out just like that. Move it to the side, pull it out, and then we're gonna lay it just like I said, right on top of the battery. We gotta twist it. Okay, twist it this way so y'all can see that. Come on, twist it back this way so that it is out of our way. Okay, so let's check that out, guys. Alright, so what we've done here, there's our thermostat housing right here. Okay, this is our thermostat housing. It works pretty good. It's still good, you know. And then here's our cavity for where the shield was at. So we've done just like I said. We set it right on top of the battery. Okay, so now we're ready to pull out these bolts. The thermostat has 2 bolts. There's one here. Okay, and then there's one here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbolt these, and it's best to use a 3/8 drive ratchet. Okay, and these bolts are going to be, I believe they're 13 millimeter, so 1/2 inch or 13. Okay, and if you want to take off your serpentine to get to this bolt a little better, your serpentine belt right here, it's easy. You just need a 3/4 ratchet to go right there. Okay, 3/4 ratchet. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to push it down, you know, with your 3/4 ratchet. And it's going to go down, okay? And then you're going to be able to pull off the serpentine belt. Okay, and you'll be able to get to this one better, easier. Okay, right there, you'll be able to get to that easier, right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this going, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pull off that serpentine belt, like I said. So just give me 1 second here. Let's sift through my tools, and there it is. 3/4 ratchet sits right in there, and then you turn it to you want to go the other way. So you're gonna pull it up like that. Okay, and pull it up like that, and it's gonna let it loose. You see, I let it loose like that. Let it loose. So we're gonna do that and pull off the serpentine belt right here. Okay, so I'm gonna set y'all down and see if we can do that. Okay, there we are. Set it, pull it right off there, just like that. Okay, this is an idler pulley right here. Just gonna go ahead and pull that off of that idler pulley and bring it up over your bring it up over here, over this, your thermostat housing. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our 13mm and take off this bolt here and this bolt here. Some coolant's gonna fall out, and you're gonna have a bucket underneath here, okay, to hold that coolant with. So let me get my tools together, and see you in just a second. So we're back. Okay, guys, we got our tools together for this, the 13mm for the 2 bolts here. Okay, now let's come over here, and here we go. We got our 13mm wrench. You can use a 13mm wrench to break them loose. Then you have your ratchet here. Okay, you can use a medium extension or a short extension. They have really long ones. You don't really want to use one of those. You still want to give yourself some room. We're not going to use the medium one today because, like I said, I want to give myself some room. I got some big hands. So I'm going to use the short one here, and then the 13mm socket. See? Read that real quick. Get it there. 13mm socket. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now whenever you're using your wrench to break loose bolts, you do not ever want to use the open end. Okay, you'll slip. You know, most people in this field know that. Almost everybody. It's pretty common knowledge. But if you don't, and you've never done anything like this, and this is kind of like your first repair, just remember you do not want to break any bolts loose with your open end. You always use the box end, okay? The closed end right there. I've got a fly on my neck. Okay, so there we go. There's that. So that's the number 1 rule right there. Never use the open end, use the box end, because you'll slip. I dropped my wrench. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and set y'all down. It makes a perfect time for me to set y'all down and get y'all in position to show y'all this, to do this with. Okay. Here we are. So what we're doing is we're going to take our box end, you know, right here. This is there you go. Ready? And just, oh, we're going the wrong way. I'm sorry, guys. Here, hold on. We're going to pull up. We're going to pull up to break them loose. There it is. Okay. If you have the manual to this, it'll tell you the the torque that you're going to want to do for these bolts when reinstalling them. We'll get into that later. I have the manual. We'll go ahead and check that out. And there's that one. That one's broken loose. Okay. So here we are. Now we should be able to... No. Here. Let's go ahead and get this. As you can see, we've already got coolant coming out here. Okay. It's not a big deal. You know, it's kind of expected. That's what you want to have your pan for down there. Okay. Hey, I want to take a real quick moment, guys, to say thank you for watching. If you like what you see, if you feel like you've learned anything so far, go ahead and push the like button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And then also subscribe and share if you feel so inclined, but definitely subscribe and push the like button. Alright, so back to what we're doing. We got our 13mm socket on our snub nose extension here, or a short extension, and then on our 3/8 ratchet. This is a pretty cheap ratchet. I got this ratchet set from Walmart for like $20. It's chrome magnum. It works for what we're doing. I'm not rich, so I try not to buy really expensive tools. So here we go. Just kind of ratchet it out of there. Okay, see this one, just like that, and here we go. There's our flow going. All right, so it's draining out of there pretty nicely. There we go. There it is, all inside our bucket. Yay! That's what we got our bucket for. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put our tool back over here. And we can just pretty much pull these out with our fingers now, just like that. Okay. So, as you can see, there's two size bolts here that came out of our thermostat. You want to take note of that. Okay, we have the short one here that goes on the bottom side underneath the thermostat, and you got your top one that goes in your top side right here. Okay, and the reason for that is because of the thermostat housing is a little different. Okay, get that taken off. Okay, so what it is one side's short, one side's flat, see? Okay, and the other side has got this side, a pretty good chunk to it, you know, for the housing. And that's basically so the water can come through here and you can see how it can read the temperature. Okay, and that's what that is right there. See? It's real right there. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and need to clean this off here, and we're going to inspect it. We're going to go ahead and do that in the next video. So for right now, I bid y'all farewell, and we'll be back.